All right, this is a video from Chapter 6 of Payroll where we're focused on the journal entries. So we have employees of this bakery earn total wages of $7,780 in January. The total amount is taxable for FICA, FUTA, and SUTA, so all of them. The state contribution rate for the company is 4.3%. The amount withheld for federal income tax is $998, and they'd like us to do the journal entry. So I'll just do the math first. So 7,780. So it's all subject to OASDI. So we're going to multiply that amount by the 6.2%. We're also going to, it's all subject to Medicare. So then we're going to multiply that amount by the 0.0145. Oops. And then it's all subject to the state and the FUTA. So the FUTA is going to be the 0.006%. And again, I can just carry that formula down. It's just going to multiply those. And then the same thing then for the SUTA, except for we use the 0.043. So we have our amounts that we need to withhold. So then if I come over to the right here, I'll do the journal entries. So we're going to have wages or salaries. Let me just peek it. So the wages is what the textbook uses. So some textbook use different stuff. So wages or wages expense, or like in financial accounting, sometimes we say wages and salaries expense. So again, whatever it asks, but in this case, it's wages. So that's going to be the 7,880, the gross wages. Then our credit is going to go to all the withholdings. So then, and again, I'll flip over to the accounts. So FICA taxes payable, employees FIT payable, and in this case, there'll be more. So FICA tax payable, OASDI, and then that is going to be the 482.36, the FICA tax payable, HI, Medicare is going to be the 112.81. Then our FIT payable, is given to us. What do they tell us? The amount withheld for federal income tax is $998. And then our SUTA and our FUTA go to the employer. So those are not withheld. The only taxes withheld out of this particular one are going to be the Social Security, Medicare, and the federal income tax. Again, normally state would be in there too, but they don't give us that. So then the net pay is going to be that minus each one of those taxes. And then that is either going to be like cash if they pay it, or it's going to be so this one is cash. Or it could go into wages payable, like in the Excel project, they'll have you put it in a wages payable and then take it out of there and pay it. So again, it depends on kind of what the problem wants. Okay, then we would also have our payroll tax expense. And that's going to be the employer's side of stuff. So let me make that column a little bit bigger. So they're going to have all of these as expenses. So I can sum those up. So $976.39 is their expense. They're going to have the exact same payables. Again, sometimes they like you to recompute it to make sure that we didn't round, because there can be rounding differences. But I don't believe that that we did have any rounding issues there. So just those same amounts are going to go in there. And then they'll have a SUTA tax payable for the 334.54, and then they'll have a FUTA tax payable. So then we recorded the payroll tax expense, we recorded the wages, we recorded the cash. Now it doesn't have us do this, but as it moves along, it may say, okay, well now they paid the federal government for those withholdings. So let's say it said that. So I'll put that up here. So when we payment to the federal government, now, when we pay those, we have to pay not only the employee's portion, but also the employer's portion. So we're going to debit our payroll tax payable, OASDI, and then let me make that bigger, maybe a little bit smaller than that. Okay, then, and it's going to be for both of those, for the employees plus the employers. Again, they have to remit both of those to the IRS. Same thing with the Medicare or the HI. They have to remit not only what they withheld from the employee's paycheck, but also their share. So both of those. And then the FIT is just withheld from the employee, but that all needs remitted to the taxing authorities or the IRS. And then we're going to credit cash, and it's going to be for all three of them. So we're paying off those liabilities. Obviously, we debit those. Think back to your rules at financial accounting. These are liabilities. When we set them up, we credit them. When we release them or pay them, we debit them, and then we credit cash. If we were paying SUDA, then we would just debit the SUDA tax payable for the $334.54. We would credit cash. So whatever we're paying, again, same with FUTA, whatever we're paying, we're going to debit those liabilities and credit cash when we pay them. Okay, then here's another one that's a little bit more, little more details. It's just one guy. It's this owner. He's the sole employee, and he pays himself a salary of $2,400. And we go down here. It's just mid-year, so he's only made $51,500. So the whole $2,400 is going to be subject to the tax. So we'll do the same thing down below. So $2,400. And we'll multiply that by our OASDI tax, our Medicare tax, and then let's go back up. Federal unemployment is still the 6%. And again, he's not. Now, in this case, though, he's not. So state unemployment is 0.05% on the first 14,000, but he is over that. So he's at 51,500. So there's no, oh, it's probably same, yeah, same with the FUTA. So yeah, he's passed both of those. So we don't have to worry about either one of those. So then we will just calculate our Social Security and Medicare. Whoops. And then we know the federal, they tell us is in here somewhere, right? Why did I think I saw it, but I'm not seeing it now? Oh, up there, there it is. So sorry, $532 per pay. So we'll go ahead and I'll just drop that down here. And then the state we've got to figure out. So the state is 22%. The federal income tax withholding. Okay. That's a different way to calculate it, but we'll go ahead and go with what they tell us. Okay. And that's his state. So then he's got a 401k plan. So maybe I should label these though. So that's his state. That's his federal. That is his Medicare, and then his Social Security. Okay. Then he's got extra stuff down here, though. He's got a 401k, so $2,400 at 3% a pay. child support, and then health insurance. So this one has a lot more. But again, it's all just payables that we're going to put in. So then we're going to say, okay, wages are the 2,400. Then we're going to have OA, the FICA taxes payable. OASDI. And then the FICA taxes payable, HI. And our FIT payable. And then our SIT payable. Child support payable. And then health insurance payable. I think I got all of them over there. So then the net pay is going to be that minus every single one of these. Again, you could sum them and subtract them that way as well. So you just got to know you subtract those all out. So then that's his net pay. And then that we're going to credit cash or wages payable if it gets paid at a different time. Then our payroll tax expense, in this case, is going to be a little easier because there is no FUTA, FUTA or SUTA. So we're just going to have the OASDI and the HI. Again, the federal and the state are withheld. The 401k is withheld. Child support's withheld. Health insurance is withheld. So they're not telling us there's any match on any of those by the employer. So it's all just what was withheld. So then there's no payroll expense to the employer. And then these would be our two credits. So the same accounts. Just so it stays in our sites. Okay. So then that would be your journal entry. And again, then as they get paid, it's the same thing. You're going to debit those payables and then credit cash as they get paid. So yeah, you've got to know. I mean, I would have like, every textbook and every account, every business you work at, the account names are always a little bit different. So have that open in front of you so you know what account names to select as you're doing it in your homework or on your test. Hopefully then you're even just toggling down in some of those where you don't have to pick them. But then that's really it. And then now when you go to do Excel, it won't be a toggle down the project. You'll have to type it in. So just look at, again, follow the textbook, what their examples of what they call those account names and use those.